All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Maela will be here momentarily. She is wrapping up a few things for you guys. But let's first make sure, before we get into this big training here, where is everyone from? Make sure you guys can hear me so I can see you. I got you guys over here on Facebook. I know we're on Instagram. We're on YouTube right now. But for my Facebook folk, can you guys let me know? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, and then we'll be able to get into it. It's never great if you are if you are rambling on and no one can hear you. All right, so let's double check. Make sure you can hear me. You hear me? Okay, beautiful. Nice to see you, Vanessa. All right, all right. Everyone's from. Okay, I think the special guest is arriving. All right,
Hello.
the boss, the ghost coach, lots of names.
Had to get coffee.
All right. So today, let's share this real quick with you guys. All right, hold on. All right, you guys should be able to see this. This is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to stop leaving money on the wedding table. How many of you guys want to stop leaving money on the table? Right? And we're talking about how to add video to your wedding photography business. There might even, if you already have video in your business and you're ordering photo and video, or even if you are just doing wedding video and you're mainly a videographer, this training is going to help you. We are going to be bringing a lot of stuff to you guys today. Anything you want to add in here?
Nope.
No, you should, because I'm going to take a step.
What have you already said? I mean, I'm assuming that everyone here is semi-interested in adding videography. You've thought about it before, or maybe you're missing out on some clients or something. I don't know if that's ever happened to anyone. I know it did happen to us at the beginning. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to kind of teach on this different side of things. I know sometimes photographers and videographers can be, kind of at battle.
True.
So one of the benefits of adding on video to your own business is to not have that battle anymore and just have everything in-house.
Yes.
So
let's do a poll maybe.
Yeah.
With you guys who are tuning in right now, how many of you do video? How many of you do video only, do photo and video, or photo only? Where are you guys at? Just let us know in the comments here. Make sure I can see this. Oh, we're here, here, and here.
Cool.
All right, so let us know. What's up, Statwinder? Nice to see you. All right, so we see some photo only, photo only. Timmy Hughes, nice to see you. Do both, mainly video. We do both. Okay. Perfect.
Cool.
We're going to do stuff that will help all of you guys. All right. Should I bring this back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So stop leaving money on the table. All right, we're going to go next here. Seems to be delaying just a little bit. There we go. All right, so who are we, if you don't know?
If you've been to one of our workshops before, you know this. This is old news, but we are Maela and Tyler. Just want to quickly say who we are. People call us Mai Tai. We are from California. We live in Northern California. We have a bunch of kids. We are married. We actually eloped in 2020, but have been dating since 2015. So this year is 10 years together.
Yeah, like a month. 10 anniversary.
And we currently have 19 chickens, but it is spring, so we have some more coming.
Whoever you guys are on my personal Facebook, if we're friends already, you know, we may or may not have 50 chickens soon. Getting into it. All right.
A little hobby.
That's who we are. Also, just a little bit about us and our journey. Obviously, if you're in the Facebook group, on Instagram and YouTube right now, but if you guys are in the Facebook group, we have a 63,000 member community of wedding photographers, which is incredible. We've personally done over 300 weddings. We've been able to book weddings, anywhere from $1,000 at the beginning to slowly growing over the years and years. And then now consistently book $18,000 plus packages. We have 12 years in the industry. We're also a bit of what do you call education junkies. We've invested over 250 grand into our own education. So we have a lot of things to share that we've learned from a lot of people. And right now, as coaches, our students in just the last 6 months have generated just barely shy of $800,000 in weddings in just the last 6 months using some of our strategies. So, anything else you want to add here?
Nope.
All right, cool. Saw you reaching for the mouse. All right. You see, I got the quiet mouse out this time.
You
I
did.
know.
Okay, so I just wanted to congratulate you guys for being here and for showing up, for being growth oriented. I know that there's a lot of business people in general who will stick to what they know. And I think it's just amazing that you're here and you're learning more and potentially adding on more. So I just wanted to give you a quick shout out for being
I
here.
love that. All right. Next up.
Yep.
Okay. Wedding planning. Okay, can be stressful for couples. Is this true, or is this more of a myth? What do you guys think? Is wedding planning stressful for couples, or just a breeze, a walk in the park? Right? You
I
guys
don't know
know
if you can move this.
it's
over
not.
here.
It's always just a little bit. It's a little bit tricky planning a wedding. There's a lot that can come up for it, but according to the 2023 Zola survey, okay, of couples, 52% couples describe wedding planning as stressful. Right, 59% added the word overwhelming. Right, and only 6% revealed that they were not stressed at all. Probably had some awesome planners. This means that 94% of couples are dealing with apprehension, okay, leading up to their big day. Right, and over 25% of the brides surveyed said planning a wedding has been the most stressful event of their life. So, what can you guys do as wedding photographers to reduce that stress? There's a lot of things that you can do, but we're going to talk about one of the big things that you can do that can also help you in your business and your growing and your scaling and all of that.
Mhm.
Next.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So why does this matter? Yeah. Can you
Why does
bring
it
this
matter?
up over here?
I cannot, but I can make this like that.
Okay, perfect. So I want you to keep this in mind because it has a lot to do with the decision making of brides and where our role plays in that decision making. And to think about it not just about from our point of view, but from the I guess it's not just the brides, it's the brides and the grooms and the brides and all the couples, why this matters. So the reason people buy from us is because they reach a level of trust where they believe that we will be the ones to honor and commemorate their memories in the best way possible based on their values. So as photographers, we are most of the time second in line to getting booked, right? Second to the venue. And so that's how important our role is to a wedding. We really have a lot of impact that we can make with that role. So our couples trust us immensely to capture their memories, their huge day, be around all of their friends and family. Like
Yeah.
we're a really valued and trusted. This is a very vulnerable relationship to offer, and so yeah, it's just a big part of
Being a wedding photographer.
being a wedding photographer.
And how can you take this trust and then make it easier and less stressful for your couples? Okay. Let's see. Can I go
Maybe
over
we can just go
here?
this way. Yep,
Oh, I don't know which one it was. Which one was it? Oh,
this way.
good call. All right. So, what does it take, okay, to trust a brand or to get booked? This is really important, right? If you're trying to double, triple your revenue, make this the biggest year ever, being able to build trust with couples is pretty important, right? So, what does it take to trust a brand, right? What does it take for a couple to trust you so much that they book you for a wedding? Just wedding. I didn't say photo or video, just a wedding, right? There's a study, okay, about brand trust and consumer behavior that said 7 in 10 consumers say trust in brands has become more important to them. 71% of consumers say that they're unlikely to buy from a company that they don't trust. Right? That's probably true in your guys' life, right? How much research do you do with people before you buy from them, right? But almost 50% of buyers said that they will pay more for a brand that they trust. That sounds sound to me. Does it sound to you guys? Right? But as photographers, you have already built trust in the memories department. So once someone has booked with you, okay, they already trust you, and they trust you almost more potentially than any other vendors. They usually need the most trust from the photographer. And we're going through in the economy now a bit of a trust recession. So building trust is even harder than ever. So if you're knowing how to do that and you're getting bookings, but you're photo only, you have a huge, huge opportunity
Mhm.
here by adding video.
So think about also all the work that went into getting that client,
Mm.
getting that customer. You put in a lot of effort to get there, right? And the customer, the couple also put in a lot of work and effort to build the trust up so far to where they'll book you and they'll sign the document and say, okay, I'm going to put in all this money to this person and trust them with my memories. And so with your couple is going to have to do if you're not offering video is they're going to have to go and find another person and they're going to have to do that same thing all over again.
Right? As photographers, right, or any vendors, do any of you ever get a little bit stressed out about the other vendors that might be there? Right? Have any of you ever argued with a videographer or had a videographer tap you on the shoulder and say you're in their spot? Or it's been a little tough knowing who's standing where. Maybe you even had a second shooter who didn't quite know that they were the second and not the main shooter, right? There's a lot of things that can happen for you with other vendors that can impact the quality of what you can deliver to your couples, right? That can stress you enough. That can stress you out enough. Think about how the couple feels having to go and find a different brand for video. And how many of you guys have been losing? Can I say this? How many of you guys have lost weddings to a couple that said we went with someone else because they do photo and video?
Has anyone experienced that yet?
You guys had that come up?
We definitely used to.
Yes. Which is why I started with it. So I was like, I'm doing this. All right, so let me go there. Hold on. Yeah. All right, so
remember this stressful slide that we just talked about? The way that you can pop up in here is by saying, hey, I'm here, I can help. I can offer and I can take off some of this stress because I can take care of this also for you. It's really a huge bonus to couples.
okay, which part you want me at? Over here. All right, so you have to you have a way to help make their decision making easier by offering a two-in-one service, right, with both photo and video. You're not only selling them, right? You're helping them, and you're helping them get more memories also, which is a big thing, right? But couples don't want to have to go to find another vendor, right? Because what's another vendor going to be? There's another chance of someone who maybe doesn't show up, who doesn't know how to handle their family member well, who is not very communicative throughout the wedding planning process. There's a lot of things that make somebody a good wedding vendor, not just a photographer, but a good wedding vendor. They're going to have to go and try and find somebody else, right? But they already trust you. So this is the big thing.
Yeah.
Upgrading video. Is that all right for me to say? Upgrading video is one of the easiest ways to double your revenue through the year, because once somebody trusts you with photography, with their memories, saying, I also do video, can sometimes be that small of a conversation for them to add on $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 for the wedding. Which if you then zoom out, if you have 20 weddings and just 10 of those weddings upgraded to video, and each one was at, let's just say 3,000, you just added $30,000 in revenue to your business for the whole year. Did you have to spend more on marketing? No. More time marketing? No. Did you have to change your website? No.
Did you have to find new couples? No, because you already had them.
Did you have to give up more weekends? No.
So it's a pretty cool thing to run and pair so well with photography. I don't remember who it was recently, one of our students, either Jamie or Jordan, they said they added on video, they were only doing photo, and they said, I think they came on a call and said, that was the easiest package I've ever sold.
Yeah.
Because it was like in addition to their photography.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were shocked. Like a lot of times when we help people add on video in the past, they're like, I don't think I could do it. It's going to take years. How do I know if the video is going to be good enough? How do I sell it? How do I price it, package it, all that kind of stuff. But once you know what to do, it becomes, one of the easiest sales. It's, similar to if you were to add photo booth or something else, right? Or like if you're in the engagement session process, you add on save the dates or something. Like there's so many things that become super easy sales. Why? Because they already trust you. So this is like pulling on a major lever in your business.
Yeah.
If you do it right. Okay. Should I bring this back here?
Yeah, let's go back to this.
All right. So we're back here now.
So I just want to talk about like why videography is on the rise. It is always kind of the underappreciated cousin. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's always an underappreciated thing. It seems like it's kind of it would be nice if we have it, but the photographer is the 100% person that couples always hire.
Yes.
But what I will tell you from being at tons and tons of bridal shows and talking to hundreds and hundreds and probably thousands of couples, the thing that I heard most from people that were already married is I regret not getting a videographer, or I regret not getting video, or this is the one thing I wish I had done differently. And it's always from video. And the reason is because it's memories. It's literally memories that you will never get back. And so we have now couples realizing the importance of having a longer tangible record of their special day. It's just becoming the norm, right? Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are making short form wedding videos or cinematic highlight reels increasingly desirable. Couples are planning elaborate celebrations that include multiple days of events and want to capture each moment. Videography is really, really great for typical weddings that are, a normal 10, 12-hour days. They're also great for 3-day ceremonies, and they're also great for elopements. Like you can really use them for everything. I actually saw a stat though that Gen Z are actually picking more. It's weird because we're seeing elopement style kind of like skyrocket, right? But there was an actual study that was done that said that Gen Zers are inviting more people to their weddings than millennials had.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. It's the pendulum's going back. So the reason I'm asking is because Myla is the maestro of like the planning and the slides and all these things. Can I tell just quickly why I first got into video and then also Miguel and Hannah's story with video? Or is that in here later?
Yes.
I can tell you.
It's not.
Okay. Is it all right if I share it?
But you can.
Okay, I'll do it real quick.
No, we didn't always used to do video. And then even for a bit after we added video, we didn't really roll it out to everything. So you can tell those stories. Okay, so before we knew that the Facebook ads were like the biggest hack to get more bookings and quickly and enter new areas and new markets and all these things, we used to utilize a lot of bridal shows. Okay, but I was only doing photography at the time. And I did a bridal show, and this super, super cool couple came out to my booth, right? And we were talking for a bit, and everything was jiving really, really well. And they were like, oh my gosh, you're awesome, we're awesome, all of that. And they're like, oh, by the way, what's your wedding date? And then they told me the date. And I look at my booked wedding list, and I was booked. And no, I told that wrong. That wasn't the case. They were booked. No. They were booked. They said, well, gosh, we love you so much. Do you offer video? And I only did photo at the time. This is what it was. It's so long ago now. I forgot for a second. All right. So they asked, do you do video? And I said, no. And they said, well, we already have a photographer. And I was like, that was in my heart.
All
When
right.
we did bridal shows, we used to have this thing called a super awesome connection list. We literally titled it that. And so this is a couple that would have been on that
Mhm.
super awesome connection list, right?
Yes, big time. And they were like, but they ended up reaching out to me after the bridal show, after all the disappointment, said, "Hey, I know you don't do photo, but we really loved meeting you. Would you ever consider doing video?" Which is really interesting and a key about sales. This is not all personality types, but there's a certain personality type that what they need to do is to like you.
Mhm.
That's not all. That's not always. That's not everybody, but that's a big portion of it. Like, right? I was able to book video, or someone asked me to do video when I didn't even do it, but they liked my photography work and my personality and how we interacted. Interesting. So I said, no, I've never done video, but I'm willing to try. Okay, this is like 2014. This is a long time ago. But I had no idea about video at all. And so I ended up going and hiring somebody who did video, who was a videographer, to come with me to the wedding to kind of teach me. We met for days on end beforehand, learning about audio, about angles, what the difference with the settings of video, all that kind of stuff, camera movements, all the things. Then he went to the wedding with me. We shot it together, and then anyways, long story. The editing was a nightmare. I learned later, but I did the video. The couple absolutely loved it. And then ever since then, we started doing it. But I always kind of felt more passionate about photo, so I didn't really push video. So Hannah and Miguel, this couple comes to us right before their wedding. Budget was a bit smaller. They just really loved us, really loved our work, and really wanted us to be at their wedding. They were only able to go with our smallest package on photo side.
Mhm.
Um, and we were doing photo and video then, but I wasn't. There was like, oh, the budget's kind of low. I won't even really talk about it. Um, and then their wedding happened, and their wedding was amazing. It
Mhm.
was so amazing, and it was, like, more in the morning time, and so after the wedding and after we were there for 4 or 5 hours, they said, "Hey, we're about to do, like, an after party at a friend, at a parent's house. Do you guys wanna come by?" And we said, "Sure." Like, we'll come by and mingle a little bit, which, is always a little nerve-wracking as a wedding vendor, but, we showed up, and I just asked the groom, I said, "Miguel, what was your favorite part of the day?" And usually someone would be like, "Oh, this is my favorite part." He said, "Well, actually, um, the minute the toast started, I instantly had so much regret that we didn't get video." And I was remembering the toast because it just happened. What ended up happening was the groom had almost no one from his family at the wedding. He just wasn't close to this family. His family also was really small, so people couldn't travel, and it was mostly all the bride's side. And during the toast, what happened was, probably 2 dozen or more of her family members got up, and he had had a pretty difficult life, up until this point, and all the well, like, over 24 plus people stood up, got in line, and one by one welcomed Miguel into their family and shared how much they love him and how much they appreciate him. And everyone was crying, I was crying, and it was so beautiful. And when I asked the groom later, "What was your most favorite part?" He said, "Toasts." But I instantly regretted video. And I felt so guilty at that moment for not educating the couple ahead of time what memories they could lose without video. And that lit a fire under my butt to make sure that we always explained how important video was, because the types of memories that you get are different. I'm not saying it's more important or
Yeah.
less important than photo. They're just different. They're different ways to relive your life. But we've had multiple experiences like that, like Hannah and Miguel, that taught us this is why video is important. And it's why now there's so many couples that have said, my one regret was not getting videos. Why more people are asking for it? And the reason why more and more couples are asking for, do you do photo and video, is because they want to be able to have one company that they full heartedly trust. And as the photographer, you're typically always talking to the couple before they reach out to any videographers. So you have this huge leg up if you're in the videography, if you're in the photography space. So anything you
I
want
want
to
to
add
tell,
there?
well, I want to tell another story on, you
Okay.
just inspired me to tell another story on the differences between photo and video.
Mhm.
So, just like Tyler said, photo and video are, we're not going to compare them, right? Because they're both really, really valuable. I will say that I am a little bit more passionate about video because that was my whole role in business, was more the video side. I've spent
Yes.
many more hours editing videos than Tyler
But you
has.
don't have to have a business partner or be in a couple to offer photo and video. I saw a comment. That's not the case, but go ahead.
We'll talk about that later. But I have a visual in my mind of, and we probably have a photo of it somewhere too, of when Tyler and I were earlier in our relationship. One of the biggest things or kind of gatekeepers to us like working out was him getting through to my grandma. Like she was like the one person
Seal of
that
approval. I need it.
yeah, I needed. Like my parents, I grew up in an interesting way. So my parents didn't really matter that much to me whether they liked Tyler or not. But my grandma definitely, like, I really valued her opinion. And so Tyler met my grandma really early on in our relationship. And she surprisingly really liked him. She was kind of picky with people. So he impressed her enough to like get the pass, even though he was a photographer and he was probably like, you know,
Yeah.
didn't make any money, she thought, and she didn't really trust this like artsy type of career. She still accepted him. And it wasn't very long into our relationship, maybe 3 years or so, probably, that my grandma got put on hospice. And it was kind of this quick, unexpected thing. She was very, very healthy. She was 94 and she still lived on her own. She still cooked all of her own food. She still did all of that stuff. And she just had a, um, a health concern that just kind of became serious. And so she got put on hospice. And so, you know, the whole family flew out to go be with her in the last few days. And we have pictures of her bed in her room set up and all of the family around her. And we kind of just took turns, like having conversations with her and hanging out with her for days on end, maybe like weeks, you know, long. And so we have a picture of like Tyler sitting, me sitting, my grandma laying her in her bed, some other cousins around, and we have a picture of that, right? And that's photography related. And or that's photo. And then Tyler, because he was a photographer and had dabbled in video, he brought a recording, like a recorder, a mic, and he put it next to her head. And because it was this standalone mic, which we can talk about in a little bit, it just went on for hours and hours and hours. And we didn't set up a video camera, but part of videography is the audio that comes with it. And now, looking back, however many years later, I still have that long 8-hour audio of every conversation that went on in that room, every song that Tyler played on his guitar for her that she sang along with. And I think one of the things that goes the quickest when you lose someone is like their voice. And so to have that voice recorded is like priceless to me, you know? And this is why I get so passionate about having video or audio on wedding days. It's like these things are things that we can never get back. These words that people say to us at weddings are things that we can never hear again unless we have video and audio of it. And so I just want to kind of share that story with you to kind of express the difference about looking at a photo versus hearing a voice and the memories related to those separate things.
This is so important to share because if you haven't offered video yet, maybe a part of you doesn't value it as much. And the thing that will unlock your ability to sell it, but also to honor the memories correctly, is to really understand it. So that's why it's so important for you guys to hear what's the difference? What is the difference with photo and video? And
Why
how
does it
can
matter?
why does it matter
Mhm.
first and foremost before you could ever get to selling it? So because if you don't understand why, just why add it? Why go through the stress? Why go through the extra liability of messing it up?
Mhm.
Right? You have to know why and what it's for.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
that covers that. All right. But
Next.
the next stuff. All right. The other
Okay,
thing that
so
you
we're
can
gonna
do.
we're gonna switch completely from emotional
Yep.
to logical. And I want Tyler to walk you guys through the income calculator. Now, some of you have gone through our instant inquiries workshop and you have gone through the income calculator before, but maybe now
Mhm.
you're going to have a totally different approach because you're going to double your prices by adding video. And so I want to show you what's possible if you add video to your services.
Well, let's do this. Just for let's see here. This is also incredibly important. Like if you want to double or triple your revenue, all of these steps really matter. Okay, but you can do some quick math. Okay, let's see here. Let me see if I can just pull it up here. Maybe I can put it in the comments for them as well.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right, let me share this real quick. Oh, this is the. Hold on here. All right, I think this is it. All right, perfect. Okay, so let me share this link with you guys in the comments real quick. So you're gonna have to make a copy. I'll show you guys how to do that here in a second. Here we go. Okay, perfect. So grab the income calculator. Even if you've done this before, do it really quickly. We're not going to spend too much time on this. There's lots to cover, but I do want to show it to you very, very quickly. Make sure you grab that. It's in the chat right now. All right. So here we go. Let's pull this up here. All right. I'm just going to share right here. Is that
Yeah.
cool?
Yep.
All right. You guys see this now. Let me zoom in here. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go File, Make a Copy. Okay. This is, you will not be able to edit this. All right. So File, Make a Copy. Okay. Then you'll have your own version of it. So put your name here. Okay. Get us here. And mind you, yeah, this is huge. So let's say you want to take home $300,000 a year. Take home. What you should do is aim to actually book $600,000. I know we've gone over this before, so I won't go into this too much, but you take home 50% to actually pay your personal bills with, invest into your future with, all that stuff. 50%, the rest of it, 30% for investment, marketing, clients, 20% for taxes. Got to pay those. Okay. This is just a talk to your CPA. Every person's different. We're people from all over the world here. Everyone's different places. If you're in Hawaii, you have lots of extra taxes. Okay, but let's say you want to make.
We're going to do 150,000.
All right.
Okay, we want to do 150,000 take home.
Perfect. If you want to take home that much money and you're willing to do 40 weddings a year, you would need to charge on average $7,500. If you're only charging $3,500 to $5,000 right now for photo, and you don't want to have to build a whole new brand, enter a whole new market, figure out how to sell completely differently, all you have to do is add video. That's the thing I really want to highlight here. And because here's the other things, like if you get down to your inquiries, you might need 5 inquiries a day, depending on your inquiry sources, in order to get here.
Mhm.
Okay. But if you needed to do this, it needs to go to 80. Okay, here we go. 80 weddings, because you can only charge 3,700. We're going to need 11 inquiries every single day. Okay. So this is why this is such a huge hack, right? Because if you want to go from 3,500 to 7,500 in bookings, just photography, that is a whole other task. And that might take you a while. You're going to need to follow a proven strategy to get there. But if you add video, you can jump and double that revenue right away. You guys all following this? Okay. Perfect. Let's get into the next stages here. All right, beautiful. Okay, next piece here. Make sure I'm not missing this. Hold on. Okay, let's talk about gear now. Actually, we can do a little pause here. Just in the comments, what are your guys' biggest worry about doing both photo
Take this off.
and video? What's the biggest worry you guys have with doing that? Your biggest concern? right, here we go. What's your biggest concern? Right? There's gear, the team. Who else? What else we got? Quality. There is a lot of things that could go wrong, right? So how do you mitigate all of those risks so that you can do this? Okay. Like if we just talk about gear here.
Tammy
Okay?
said editing.
Editing. Yes.
Announcing it. That's true. Like how to launch it, how to announce it. Or just the work that comes with announcing it. That too.
Is huge. Yeah. And
editing.
Like if you announce it incorrectly, you could actually ruin your brand or ruin your website or worse, ruin your SEO.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely a right way to do it. But let's first of all gear. What gear do you need? You need cameras, but it's not like photography, right? With photography, you want to be able to have 2 cameras, right? You need your main and your backup, okay, at minimum. With video, if you want to document the memories correctly, this is why even if you do video, this is huge because a lot of times people approach it.
Yeah.
Am I too
Okay.
early?
So let me explain. How do you take this off?
Here.
How do you bring me back? So one of the things actually I want to touch on right before we get into this is the top 3 mistakes that we see when people add video. Okay, these are huge. So I'm just gonna kind of fly through these, but these are important. So the number 1 mistake we see when people add video is doing hybrid shooting. So that's shooting photo and video, one person. You have 2 cameras or 3 hanging on you, and you're just going back and forth. So you're getting a little bit of video, and then you're shooting some photos, and then you're, swinging back and forth. Now, while that is nice because you only have yourself to rely on, it hinders greatly the product or the outcome of both of those things. Like your photos are going to be missing seconds or minutes that could be shot, and your video is going to be missing lots of that could have been shot because video takes a lot longer to capture all of those things.
Let's just take Miguel's wedding, for example, with toast, right? 24 plus people get up. If you were switching back from photo to video and trying to hybrid shoot that,
you're not going to be able to get words.
Yes.
You're going to miss a lot of those things. So that leads me into the next thing. The second mistake that I see people do when they add video is to only add B-roll or highlight cinematic shots with no audio.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember back to Miguel's favorite part of his entire day was hearing the toasts of people. And he said he had no idea that those were going to be as impactful. He actually changed his name to the wife's last name because he had no family ties. And his wife's family welcomed him in. And so he actually didn't want the name that he was born with anymore. And he just felt so close to this family because of that. And so those were his most important parts. My grandma's voice is so important. So if you don't include audio in there, I know that it's extra work, but again, this will never happen again. We will never get this back. And so it's really for our couples. Like it's really for them to be able to rehear their vows, rehear their toasts. Like how many times have you had a client come to you and say, hey, did you have any more pictures of my grandfather? He just passed away. And we're looking for any other pictures for the funeral. I know that has happened to us so many times.
What if you could add in, hey, here's some extra audio. Here's when the grandpa actually took you on the side of the dance floor and shared his greatest wisdom with you and his greatest wishes, right, over your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just more.
It's just more intentional. It's more caring. It's more loving. Like it's more legacy to leave. Like our jobs are so valuable. Like we provide memories that can be looked on forever. another video story we talk about is like me watching a video of Tyler's grandma who passed away way long when Tyler was a little kid. And I obviously never met her, but I watched her on a video and I felt like I got to know her a little
Yeah.
bit.
And you'd
That's how
seen
video is different.
pictures of her for years. That
Yeah.
mattered a lot. It wasn't until you guys see a video of her as a young 20-something, like running across ice on a road and just like how vibrant she was. It's
Mhm.
just another way to see somebody. They're both equally valuable,
Yeah.
but different.
Yeah.
But there's some things that you need in order to be able to capture it all correctly.
Yeah.
You're going to need way more cameras, right? Then you think that's way more batteries, more lenses. You're going to need a ton of mics if you're going to do it correctly and mitigate the issues that can come up. You're also going to need to know how to make sure that your cameras don't overheat in over 100 degrees Fahrenheit weather. That's a big thing. I just talked about somebody recently who is from Canada, who is used to doing video, but went to Mexico and it was really hot there and cameras overheated. What do you do about that? There's so many little extra pieces that come up. Tripods, right? Have you guys ever seen someone that had a 70 to 200 lens on a tripod and it fell over and it cracked? We have. We rented a camera. Thank goodness we rented a lens, and one of the team members dropped it, and luckily we had insurance. You're gonna need more softwares. The editing. Oh my gosh, so many of those things here. Okay.
So that leads me into the next.
Should I go next?
Nope.
No, I won't touch it.
That leads me into the last, like, third mistake that we see, as we just listed off all of that gear that may have really overwhelmed you, right?
And we
to
have a
have to get
secret
all of
to
this
show you how to
stuff
not have to do all that.
and add on all of these things. Learning, Jill just said, not having the experience, like never. I don't know if this is Jill's experience, but never having shot a video before, or not knowing all the settings and all the things that you can shoot. How many frames per second do you need to be in? Like all of those things. The third mistake that I just don't want you to do, even if you don't listen to anything else I say, is to not like partner with another company and add it on to your company. Because if this person is another company, they are their own entity. And it's very, very, very hard for two separate people to be on the same page forever. And so I just like doing it yourself, hiring in-house, because then you can manage everything. Another thing is, that company might want to talk to the couple. They might want to
control your timeline, control what's
things.
Where.
They might reach out to them. They might try to steal any future business or any future referrals or things like that. Or maybe they decide to add on photo. And so now you're kind of stuck and they have gone this other way without you. So I would really, really try to not partner with another company, just because, like, long term, we've been doing business for many, 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 many years and tried to do things with many, many, many different partners. And no matter how dedicated and loyal you go into it, you never know.
This could change, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot more reasons that we get into, but that's just some of the few. So take our word for it. There's a lot of other reasons to not just try and partner with somebody. Okay. Cool. It's definitely important to mention. All right, you guys have learned a lot so far. So how do we move together? All right.
We talked about trust.
Yeah.
We talked about why videography is important, or why it's valuable.
Yeah.
We talked about calculating revenue a little bit and how you can double your prices. We actually ended up tripling our packages by adding video to everything, or most things, because again, that extra trust warrants more pay, actually. And then we talked a little bit about gear. Mm-hmm. So how do we do all of that?
All right, next. Now what?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for the first time, we want to share with you our No Stress, All Profits Wedding Video for Photographers course. And I know this is kind of a silly name, but it's just, I just want it to be like no fluff.
Yeah.
This is exactly what it is. And so we've come up with, and we've taught our other students in some of our other programs this method. But for the first time, we're pulling it out of the
Yeah.
main program and we're selling it on its own, which we've never done before. We've come up with a method to, I mean, you can probably explain it better than I can.
Yeah. What I'll tell is the results.
Okay.
Okay. What we can teach you, and what we have taught a lot of people. Like I'm thinking about Jamie. Like he was charging 2,400 just for photo. And after he added video and a few other pricing things and some help, he actually booked his first $9,900 wedding. It's 100 shy short of his first 10K wedding.
Mm.
And a big part of that was adding video. He's now consistently booking weddings closer to the 6K range. And some of the photos on video, some combinations of the two. But then there's some other people like Zona, who maybe you guys have seen her interview in here. She's done really well in New York, and she was really nervous to add video, but we really walked with her. She added video, and she booked her first $8,000 photo and video package, where she was doing close to like 3 to 4 photo packages only. And what we're able to show some of our past students, but we've never shown outside of our main programs, is how to add video without having to buy any gear, without having to learn how to edit, okay, with how to build the right team, a bunch of other things, and how to make sure that the experience, that the video itself is going to be really, really good, and how to make sure that the wedding, the entire customer journey, it adds to it all. So, like, make sure the timelines are set up correctly, right? And how do you, and where people are standing and when, and how do you manage now all of that and making sure it all works together? It's something that you can only do if you follow it in this way, where you can make sure that nobody's standing in front of each other's shots, everybody's collaborating with the same vision, with a couple in mind, right? And how to be able to craft that perfect experience for your couples that can continue to reduce any of that stress for them during wedding planning, and also on the wedding day, and also after with delivery, so that you can know without a shadow of a doubt they're going to be getting everything on time or ahead of schedule. And it's going to be the best video it can possibly be. One of the things with partnering is not all videographers um, actually care about things like the audio, things like the whole toasts, audio outside of the ceremony, and just the toasts. There's a
Things
lot of
about
things.
colors and the way you edit,
Yeah.
and they might have all of their own personal ways of doing that. So this system teaches you how to have a semi-passive video addition to your wedding business and be able to double or triple your the amount you're getting paid per wedding day.
Yep. Cool. And that's the big thing, right? With all of this, it's like, here, let's see. So, well, that's in this. So let's talk about this. So normally, and I want to talk a little bit about more why this is important. That masterclass is $19.95 months. Okay, but what we want to do is, and this is so much more than what you're gonna see here, but it's today right now it's $495. That's it. Okay, and in here, what you're gonna get is that next. Okay, so this is what you guys are gonna get for this. Okay?
So, well, I just want to point out this bonus course down there. So this is we're including our videography pre-sale system, which is a way to turn your current wedding clients into video clients with no extra marketing. So exactly the way that I think Ginger said, announcing it, we will teach you in that bonus course how to launch the video edition to your current couple base. And then how to add it on to their weddings before even buying a camera or doing anything for adding video.
This is crazy. To me, this is insane to offer this for $495 right now, because like, how many weddings do you need to add video to in order for this to just pay for itself?
And I would love to see how many weddings you could actually add with just that tiny little bonus course. Actually, even
that's, to me, it's like one of the smartest,
the biggest part
that we've ever offered, because it's like this one single thing, this one time. If just 50% of your weddings upgraded to video with you, how much more would that make you? What about the people who go away because you don't have both and they're not integrated?
We have taught our students this. Our students in our big program get this included in their course, and
Yeah.
they have backtracked to all of their current weddings and added on the video using our
And we'll
scripts and
show
our
you how to do
method,
that.
the way that we teach you to reach out to them and talk to
Yeah.
them and what to offer. Ginger asked, do you outsource a lot of the editing? We outsource all of it.
Yes.
So that's in the course too. That's part of
Yes.
it.
Plus, like
Is
our recommendations, how to manage it all correctly.
Mhm.
Lots of stuff.
I think there is one more slide here,
Is
actually.
there?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, but this is now. This is how we're going to deliver it to you as well. This is not just a course. Okay. Like I know for a fact there's some courses out there that teach kind of what's in here, but they're $2,500 and it's just recordings. What we're going to do for this is actually teach this live
Mhm.
over 6 hours to a select group of people. So you're going to be getting over the next 3 weeks only. So the next 3 weeks, I'm going to go live for 2 hours every single week in a private group to show you every single bit, which means there's going to be Q&A, there's a chance to ask questions. Okay, and then all of those recordings you will get access to afterwards, like in perpetuity, right? You guys are going to get full access, lifetime access to the coursework and recordings of that whole thing, but teach it to you live, so you can ask questions that we can deep dive into subjects that maybe don't make total sense. We're going to go over every single part of the process. We're going to be talking about the gear. Now, you don't need to know how to shoot. You don't need to learn how to do the correct gimbal walk to stay perfectly stable and how to do all the transitions, which are way harder than you would think. You don't need to go and get your drone pilot license. Okay, all of this, but there's some basics you do have to understand it so that you can correctly manage a team. So we're going to show you all of that. We're going to talk about like how to connect with your team beforehand to plan everything correctly, the day how to hire, all the way to find people,
how to hire
so
your shooters, how to hire any assistants, how to hire your editors, how to delegate to each of those people. This is what we do. Like we ran a high level wedding photography and videography business. We managed all of this. We delegated to our entire team. And then we teach all of our students how to do that too. And so sometimes you just need like kind of a roadmap, a list of what you need to do. But what I don't want you to do is go out and learn how to shoot video, because you don't really need to do that in order to add it as a hugely valuable service to your business.
Yeah, and you don't need amateurs. You don't need people who are going to charge you as much as they would charge a couple. So there's a sweet spot. So, anyways, we'll talk all about that, every single facet that you're going to need. We're going to talk about how to deliver it. What are the deliverables on video? What are all the different things that you can add on when you book, and then even after, or even after the wedding? There's a lot of opportunity to be able to create memories for people that they want to purchase.
Another thing is like how to price video. You know, what should your packages be for video?
How does that
what should be included? Kind of what's going on in the industry too, because you know we have hundreds of people who have learned from us. We see lots of pricing. We see lots of photo and video packages. What are people wanting right now? So all of that will be in that course. I know it sounds kind of crazy. It's a pretty comprehensive course.
Yeah.
But because this is the first time we've pulled it out of the big program, we are offering it to you guys.
It's almost a beta round. It's funny because it's like a beta round in a way. It's a beta round pricing. It's 76% off what it's going to be when we launch it fully. But it's also not really beta round because it's not the first time that we've taught it. Right? We've already mostly recorded the course. We just thought delivering it to you live would actually be a lot more impactful. Having that Q&A. The other thing that you're going to do or be able to do and have access to is our private community that's for students only, which we really went back and forth on, but we decided we want you guys all to be able to be together. So you're also going to be able to go into a private coaching community where you're able to ask more questions and you get a whole year access to that. So we just wanted to make this kind of hopefully a no-brainer for you guys. And the big question I would ask is what would it take for this to be worth it for me? Right? And to me, that's one wedding book. And if you have any wedding books in the future, We'll show you how to correctly approach your couples to be able to then offer it to where they're really excited about what you're going to create, and it's fine tuned. Like I'm thinking about one of the students who he had done video for a long time, but now we taught him a new way to approach video, and he met with a couple, and that they said, "Oh, we would love to book with you, but we would love to see some samples." But he hadn't done any samples yet, and they were kind of like on the way out. So I sat with him. We wrote an email, sent it back. They sent an email back, said, "Perfect, let's go ahead and book." We're gonna show you how to do that kind of stuff. All right.
Hey, you want to drop the link?
Yes, that's a good idea. Okay, so, and we kind of went through this. We put a large amount of time aside to be able to go through all this stuff, but we really were able to fly through it. But no, you're not going to need the experience for this. We are going to give you guys some skills, okay? But here we go. Perfect. So there you go. So there's no call to sign up for this. Okay, we start next week. Okay, they're going to be from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. All right, PST. Okay, which is going to be the evenings, afternoons for North America. For Australia and New Zealand, it's going to be the mornings on Thursdays. All right, we're going to do it live. And if you can't get there, you're getting all the recordings plus the group. Where
exactly.
You ask
everything is going to be live. So if you can't attend live, everything will be recorded. That's what I wanted to say. Yes. Everything will be recorded if you can't attend live. And then we also will have the community. So if you have any questions in there, you can always answer or always ask those. And then you can also be able to refer back to that community months from now, because you will have a year access to that community.
All right, cool. I'm just making a note here. The beta round will also be closing, so this is not something that is going to be available forever here. So
we'll probably close it, I would say probably Friday. We're probably going to give people a couple days to rewatch the replay if they weren't able to get on here live, but we will close this group on Friday because we need to be able to kick off next week and have a closed group. So
yep. All right, I'm going to drop this right now for those who are watching on Instagram as well and on YouTube. So let's put these in here so that you guys are going to be able to get access to that if you want. But
okay,
this is it. If you want to know how to really add this, this is going to give you all the tools for you guys to be able to do that.
Does anyone have any questions about what is included in the course or what's going to be taught on? We can just kind of rally through those questions. That can be like a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Just since we have just a little bit more time, and if you guys didn't have any questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just wait for these.
And if no questions and all makes sense, perfect. If you've already gone and you've already purchased your ticket to hop into this beta group coaching, then let us know in the comments too. And for those who are signing up right now as well, I'm going to be reaching out to you personally to kind of get you access into everything for the group coaching and access into the group. We might hop on a quick one-on-one call as well. Make sure you have it all right away. Let's see.
Hey, there might not be any questions.
It's pretty straightforward. We were able to get through it quickly. And also, Isaac, you said something about losing business relationships with other photographers. We will absolutely talk about that as well. With you specifically.
Because you're in mastery.
Because you are in mastery around like how do you do that? Because it is an important consideration, but there is a way to be able to handle it. All right. Said, does the course have training on how to actually shoot the video? Yes, absolutely. And like, where do cameras go? And where do the audio sources go? And how do you put an audio source to somebody and where and all of that? What camera, what focal lengths, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely, with examples, with live video of like, all right, here's the example. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Like, we're going to go over all of that stuff because you're going to need to understand that to be able to ensure that you're getting consistent, high quality stuff for your couples.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to just be a videographer and learn how to shoot all of it, you can absolutely use the course for that. What I would recommend is to watch all of the course
Yeah.
and then hire someone to do that.
Yeah.
And tell them exactly what to do based on what you know from the course.
You
But
might put them through the course as well.
just because I believe it will save time for you. And then you don't have to copy clone yourself in that way.
Yeah, great question. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and we're going to go over like all the different types of movement, the different kinds of styles, kind of, some with like the shaky camera style, the really, really smooth style, and when and why. So you can develop a style as a brand and then know how to communicate that, which is very, very important. Because the last thing you want to do is have video done and then you get all the footage back or you get the edits back and you're like, this is not good. My couples are going to be upset. I'm upset with this, and there's no way for me to fix it.
Ginger said, I'm a photographer and videographer and recently brought on a videographer in my business. Would this be helpful for me? We've already booked a few weddings.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on, I mean, I believe so. But if you have like more questions detailed that you want to ask, go ahead and shoot me a message and we can kind of talk about like what's actually going on in your business and if it would be helpful for your business. I believe it would because you're already a photographer and videographer. And if you brought on a videographer to your business to hire, there's a lot of management and there's a lot of delegating that goes along with that.
I'll say it this way. We had a student in Texas that already was doing photo and video and was charging about $6K. But some of the stuff that we taught her that you guys are going to learn in this little 3-week program, she was able to go from a $6K booking to a $12K booking a week later because of the way that the approach to the day, the packaging, the pricing, what that looks like, how to convey it. So yeah, if you're doing photo and video already, I think it would still be worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Vivian, do you have any examples of your own videos that we can see? Yes, I do. If you want to shoot me a message, I can send you some.
Yeah, sure. Perfect. But our videos and the way that we did it may or may not be the exact approach that you want to have. So we're talking how do you develop that style? Because there's a lot of ways. There's so many more ways to shoot video than there is on the photo side. There's a lot of ways to shoot photo, a lot of decisions to make, right? You can have a styled shoot and have 50 photographers there, and every person's getting something a little bit different. Yeah. But then if you added video, wow, the range is insane, especially even on the editing side. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you can shoot my own message too. All right.
Okay.
I think that's it.
I think we're going to hop off. If anyone has any more questions, go ahead and shoot me a message. I'll have my phone on today, most of the day. Yeah, I think that's it for today.
I think the only other thing I'll mention is for what's next. So we come in here multiple times every single month to do some trainings. We had a really interesting conversation today, with a new company that's coming out to try to help photographers with some social media stuff. So we might be having some workshops coming up here in the next few weeks for you guys to be on the lookout for of how to use AI to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money when it comes to your social media. And so it's something to look forward to in the community here soon. But I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think that's it for today.
All right, cool. It was great to see you guys all. I know we'll see you all really, really soon in the group. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Mayella. But this will close. What did you say, Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, let's close it on Friday.
We'll probably do Friday at midnight PST.
Cool.
Just to get everyone onboarded and in so that we can kick off next week.
Perfect. All right, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.